Welcome to the farm.
Welcome back to the farm. I'm Justin, and we got another balmy spring day, 36 degrees Fahrenheit. Gotta love those warm spring days. Although 3 days ago we did have a 70-degree day, so that's something at least. But today we got to put all this stuff on the tailgate behind me into the Kubota. It's due for its 400-hour maintenance, so we're gonna see if we can't knock that out today on this cool day. I already got the tractor warmed up, so fluid should be warm, ready to flow out. Let's get started. So best I could tell, there's 4 main things we need to do for our 400-hour service. We need to replace the front axle fluid. We need to replace the hydraulic transmission fluid, replace both the hydraulic filters, transmission filters, and fuel filter, and then do an oil change. To drain the front axle oil, there's a plug here on the knuckle or whatever you want to call it on both sides. So we'll crack this one open. This will drain the majority of the whole axle here, and then once this is drained, we'll put that plug back in. I'll pop up the other side. I actually lifted the front of the tractor up with the bucket so I could get my pan underneath, and it looks to be about a 14 millimeter. If I can get this on here. And I'll pull the dipstick up on top of the axle, let some air in. And we'll let that drain. Little piece of advice I just learned: make sure you run your tractor for a while. I thought I had everything warmed up. That axle oil is still pretty cold and draining pretty slow, so I want to make sure I get a good flush. So I'm just going to let that drain for a while before we open the other side. But while we wait for that, we'll change out the air filter. We'll do that right away too. Change the air filter. We can just pop this housing right out, and we can pop this cover off. This is actually a 2-element filter. I only have the outer element, so we'll just pull that off. Take a look at the inner element. Looks like I could probably get a new one of those too, so I'll have to order that. Here's a nice shiny new one. Slide that guy in. Alright, so that's turned into a really slow drip. I'm going to call that good. And I'm going to go drain the other side, and I'll be back. Alright, so while the oil's draining, I figured I'll come in the shop with my little helper here. And we got something kind of exciting, right?
Yeah.
What do we have?
A first sticker.
That's right. So apparently YouTube channels like to share stickers, and I reached out to a couple channels to exchange stickers, and we got our first one. Do you want to read it?
Yes.
Okay.
It says, "Orange is my new green, cactus, fun, and more YouTube."
That's right. So our first sticker is from Orange is My New Green from Luke. He's got a cool channel about his Kubota tractor and the things he does with it. Lately it's been a lot of snow plowing videos because he's up in Canada and they're just coming out of winter. So those have been the recent videos. I'm looking forward to seeing what else Luke's going to do this spring and summer with his tractor. He's a really great guy. He's got a lot of humor in his channel. I laugh basically every video he posts. I get at least one laugh out of it. So Luke's a really great guy.
And we hope we get another sticker. We want to get this whole entire thing full.
Yes, if any of you other channels want to share stickers, we would be happy to share stickers with you. Just reach out. We got an email address in our About section, and we would love to exchange stickers with you. Thank you, Luke, for sending us our first sticker and being the first one to make it on what we are calling the YouTube Wall of Fame. I'll be hanging this up behind us. I will have the link to Luke's channel in the description if I can figure out how to do that. And again, thank you, Luke.
Yeah, thanks a lot. It really means a lot to us.
It really does. It's time to put some fluid back in the axle, and I decided I'm not going to go with the UDD2. I'm going to go with 80-90 weight gear oil. Manual said you could use either or. I feel like this is going to be a little better protection, especially when I saw that stuff coming out. It was kind of dark and dirty, so I'm hoping this will work a little bit better. I did not get Kubota brand. I know some of you will probably chew me out for that, but from what I researched, Valvoline actually makes Kubota's oil. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's what the Google told me. This is what I'm going to put in. All right, so here's the dipstick and fill point for the axle. Go ahead and dump our gear oil in. I'm only going to do 3 quarts to start with, and then I'll check. Alright, just do a quick dry check right now, and it's definitely showing that we're over full. We'll let things settle and check it back in a little bit. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drain the oil. There's 2 plugs, one's right here, one's right here. They have a split pan for the front drive shaft clearance. I believe it's 14 millimeter again. Yep. Alright. Crack the other one right away, get this draining faster. And then I will open up the fill on top. Okay, so our oil filter's right here. Remove this side panel just for easier access. Just pops right out. And see if we can't spin this guy out. Take a little bit of the oil, rub it on my seal so we get a good seal. So the engine filler is right down in here. You probably can't see very well. Just gotta unscrew that. I misspoke before with the front axle. The front axle actually takes 3.7 quarts. It's the engine oil that's 3.3 quarts. And I'm gonna call that good. So the last fluid I need to drain is the hydraulic and transmission fluid, and that's the drain plug for it right here. I don't know how well you guys can see it. Hopefully this pan's enough. It's supposed to be 4 gallons. It says it's a 5-gallon pan, so we're gonna go for it. Got an 18 millimeter. So we got 2 filters to change on here too. We got this one here, which I'm sure you guys can't see. And then we got the one right here. One of these is hydraulic, which I think is this one. I'm not 100% sure. And transmission, which I think is this one. It says filter HST. I'm assuming that stands for hydrostatic transmission. But we're gonna pull this one out first. Take a little bit of oil. Rub it on the seal. Get that plastic out of the way. Grease up that seal. Alright, so next thing we got to do is fill up the hydraulic fluid. Pull our plug here. Funnel. And it says it takes 4 gallons. I'm not going to put a full 4 gallons in it right off the bat. I'm going to put 3 and then a good part of 4 in. And then I'll run it and check it. See if I need more. I just don't want to overfill it too much. And we'll start with that. Alright, so I have one more thing I need to do before I can start this up. Test all the other fluids, check them, top them off, all that kind of stuff, check for leaks. And I got to replace the fuel filter. So we'll figure that out because I never replaced one on one of these. I'm sure I'm supposed to have done it before 400 hours, but I have a confession. I'm not overtly great at maintenance. I tend to forget things and let things lapse and don't do it as much as I should. Trying to get better at it. This is part of that, but we'll move on and get that fuel filter done. Here's the fuel filter element right here. So I think all I got to do is turn this out. Alright, and then I got to get the filter element out of the housing here. So here's a good example of why you need to keep up on your maintenance, because there is a lot of crud that's accumulated in there. And like I said, I'm not sure if I was supposed to have replaced that before. I think I was supposed to have, but I didn't. So now I got to try to get this filter assembly out of here. That was pretty easy. Give this bowl a quick rinse. New filter. Pop that in. And we're ready to install. All right, there we go. Should be pretty much self-bleeding. Let's check our hydraulic fluid. And we're definitely full. Wish they made this stick a little bit different so it was easier to see. But I actually think we're a little bit over full. But I think it'll be okay. Alright, so the last thing I'm going to check here is my axle. And that looks to be right where I need it. I haven't ran it around yet or anything, but it's looking pretty good. Alright, so now that I have all the fluids and filters and stuff done, topped off, some of them are reading a little overfull right now, which I think is okay because my tractor's kind of at a little bit of a downward angle where I did my maintenance outside here. The joys of not having a concrete floor or anything like that. But I think once I get it more level surface and I check them, they'll be right where they need to be. There's one more thing we got left to do, and we have to adjust the front axle pivot. Break the lock nut loose, which is a 17 millimeter. And then the manual said to torque it down to 11 to 22 foot-pounds. Lowest my torque wrench goes is 20, so that's what we're going to go to, and it's a 15 millimeter. That's it. Tighten the lock nut back down. Alright guys, that's my 400-hour maintenance on the Kubota. Again, I'm not a mechanic. I don't claim to be. This is just how I'm doing it. I really didn't read up much on any of this. I just kind of saw what I needed to do and went figure it out, and I feel like we did. But if I did something wrong, leave it in the comments, let me know. I don't want other people to make the same mistake, and obviously I'd like to learn and do it right in the future. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. It will help us out a lot. You can also follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Just Kate's Day Farm. Dana is posting stuff out there all the time, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.